A D&D alignment is one of the most important aspects of character creation in the tabletop RPG. It's akin to your horoscope for millennials and FNAF theories for zoomers. It's harmless fun, but people go crazy over them. While Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't have an alignment system, I think it's possible to point to what alignment a character would follow, just so we'll be on the same page. Alignments in D&D are flexible, but will personally follow the basic definitions given by Wizards of the Coast themselves, and we'll talk about the character's alignments at the start of the game to not state any major spoilers. But, to be warned, the video will reference major character backgrounds from Act 1 and certain plot elements from Act 2. Lawful characters will refer to how much a character would stick by a law or dogmas they would follow, while chaotic characters are very selfish in nature, often ignoring laws for their own self-preservation and or benefit. On that note, we go to the first companion we meet, lae'zel, also known as the #1 pick of a Mass Effect fan who has never romanced a human companion. She is 1000% a lawful character at the beginning of the game, following the whims of her goddess Vlaakith and rarely going against the gift teachings. Due to that fact, she also falls into the pitfall of being an evil character, often choosing the path of warmongering, fear, and violence. In her defense, the actions committed are seen as proper in lae'zel's eyes, as it is how she was taught to behave in her society. It's kind of hard to blame an alien whose entire lifestyle is based around war and fight for dominance. Of course, it doesn't change the fact that she would slaughter the tieflings rather than help them, but she's still a character who can improve over time. Just like us, she is capable of changing due to the environment around her, for better or worse. Unless you want her to be worse. But we're here discussing characters, not your masochism and fetishes. Therefore, lae'zel at the start of the game is lawful evil. Next up we have Shadowheart, also known as Shad. Of course the community will name her that. Shad is obviously a lawful character due to her following Shar and mentioning her goddess, I don't know, every 5 seconds. But despite worshipping an evil goddess, the cleric herself is not that evil. She doesn't really care about doing good or bad actions as long as they will align with her goals. The only time she will disapprove of you is if you either hurt her own personal bias or if you act dull or incompetent during important events, like abusing Scratch. But at that point, you don't have a problem with her, you have a problem with me. It is also fair to mention that she is particularly disliking siding with the goblins rather than tieflings, feeling more sympathy for the latter, even if she doesn't tell you outright. But although she doesn't like siding with the goblins, she won't leave your side if you do that. Therefore, I think it's fair to say that our half-elf Goth GF at the beginning of the game is a lawful neutral character, who is willing to cooperate with third parties, but only as long as they will benefit her in the long run. Astarion, a man who has won the heart of all the ladies and made most of the internet man question their man lovers. Astarion, with all intended purposes, is a chaotic character, often focusing on self-preservation. His motives are quite reasonable, as he was a slave for a very long time and finally got a taste of much-awaited freedom, feeding into all of the carnal desires he could not partake in during his unwilling servitude. That being said, Astarion is an evil character. While yearning for satisfaction, he has quite evil vices, often ignoring anyone in need of help, as well as preferring to have fun rather than committing noble actions. Hell, if you don't stop him sucking you, he will literally suck you dry and kill you off. What do you mean you want that? And he's quite pleased with himself if you ally with the goblins and destroy the druid's grove. So he is a chaotic evil character when you meet him, but I'm sure you can fix him. Next up is our little radioactive hazard, Gale. Unless you've given him a hand as a dark urge, Gale is quite an asset to the party both early and late game. He's personally happy when you commit good actions and tends to help those in need. Where if you're on a good playthrough, you'll win his approval quite often, possibly making him the character with the most affinity towards the player character. Gale also puts others before himself due to the main worry with his condition being that it will hurt those around him rather than himself. But he doesn't really follow laws or rules for that matter, mostly going with the flow and choosing what's right in the current moment. Even after his folly, he's still a rule breaker to an extent and can become incredibly selfish if you let him. Gale is quite obviously a neutral good character in the beginning of the game, who is possibly the most good-natured and selfless individual in your party. Make sure he doesn't lose that part of himself. Next up is our goody two-shoes of the frontiers, Wyll. Despite making a pact with the devil, Wyll is a hero and tries to be a hero during the hardest choices. He won't stand you destroying the druid's grove and will leave without a proper opportunity to convince him to do otherwise. He will also have hesitation to deal with karlach, clearly being visibly distraught at the thought of killing an innocent person despite the whims of his patron. I originally just wanted to place him as a hero's journey type character and put him in neutral good, but here comes the tricky part. Wyll is quite abiding by his pact with Zora, but he doesn't mind defying it. He clearly understands the reason for his exile and doesn't hold any ill intentions towards the Duke of Baldur's Gate, and he still feels an obligation to serve the people and the frontier no matter the cost. While a bit controversial choice for some, I'd say Wyll is a lawful character. While he doesn't mind breaking the pact of the fiend, he clearly is mentally tied to helping people and following most of the rules of heroism. Thus, in my book, making him a lawful good character. But don't make me wrong, the man is no paladin. Wyll is horny. Next time is everyone's favorite power mob, Karlach. Akin to Astarion, she isn't much of a mystery. Her end goal of the story is to achieve ultimate freedom by freeing herself of her infernal engine, and thus completely losing all of her connection to furnace. However, in her pursuit of freedom, she is actually a very good-natured person. She likes when you commit actions to either help people in need or beat the shit out of evil characters, while often being confused for, can't believe I'm saying this, dummy mommy. She's actually quite a nice and sweet character, more akin to your buddy who you went to the pub on the Friday nights. So Karlach is easily a chaotic good character who most likely is quite arguably the strongest companion in your party. Also is just a chill and fun person who I would go to the chippy with. Well, for a show called 1 Minute Gaming, this video took more than a minute. Thank you all for listening to my rant about trying to discern the moral compass of fictional people. Before the video ends, I want to mention that if you disagree with me regarding certain logic behind a character, feel free to correct me in the comments. Maybe you're right, maybe I'll bring up some point I haven't considered. I don't know. I just like engaging with my audience. Overall, don't worry, I'll ramble on for hours considering we have, let me check. No good AAA games this year, outside of Purse Owner Free and Yakuza Infinite Money Glitch. That was all. Thank you for watching. I'll black out now if you don't mind. Oh, Bert, I don't know. Could be anyone.